a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our expert contributors. 80 different categories, over 40 different show partners, ranging from CPA, financial advisors, home service providers, so many great expert contributors associated with the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, Andrew Kube joining us today, US Commercial and Business Capital. He is an expert in the space of growing your business, utilizing financing, and a lot of great programs that we're going to talk about to do that with Andrew Kube. Derek Kobel coming in as well, Right Way Public Adjusting. Lots of misnomers around insurance adjusting and the laws around that as well. So we're going to dive deep into those categories today with our two expert contributors. And I want to invite you to Brio Tuscan Grill at the International Plaza Mall. We have our third Thursday event, Thursday, June 20th at 6 o'clock over at Brio Tuscan Grill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. We're going to have food provided for our party on the 20th. Save the date, Thursday, June 20, 6 o'clock. We're going to have some of our radio show expert contributors. Our real estate team will be there, other friends of the program, other listeners. So come on out and join us. It's going to be a fun time over at Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza Mall, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Excellent food. Also, all you have to do is mention that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Go in there and say hello to Joey's, the general manager, Chef Oscar Ramirez as well. Let him know you're a fan of the show, and they're going to hook you up with a free appetizer as well just by mentioning that. So good stuff there. All right, a couple of hot listings here. Now, we always like to feature our real estate properties. My wife, Lindsay, and I own a top 100 ranked real estate team at Keller Williams Realty, the number one real estate company on the planet. And we like to feature our listings live on air. It's part of a strategy that helps us sell faster for more money, maximizing the exposure and the profit. 3101 Old Archer Road. This is in Gainesville, Florida. We've got multiple units available here. Now, what this is, it's a pre-construction luxury condos that we have listed. And any pricing that happens right now for a limited time, you're getting 10% off of retail. Now, these units start in the low 400s to the high 900s. The 900s are going to be closer to your penthouses there. We've got several penthouses available. You've got 1 bedroom, 2 bath, 3 bedrooms as well available for sale there. EB5 visas is the approved community. You also have that availability. 1.5 miles from the University of Florida. So you're 5 minutes from Shands Medical, Butler Plaza as well. High-end luxury amenities in the building. State-of-the-art fitness facility with Pelotons, resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, chef kitchen, gourmet chef kitchens in the clubhouse overlooking the pool, spacious business center, and a private theater room as well. 3101 Old Archer Road, Gainesville, Florida. We've got unit number 209 available, 216, 220, 306, and 612. Great opportunity to own real estate in Gainesville area. So where are my UF Gators, University of Florida Gators? Also, one more listing for this segment. We want to feature our real estate property at Portland Manor. This one's 4809 Portland Manor Drive. This is in Newport Richey, Pasco County. 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1912 square feet, 55 plus Heritage Lake. You have beautiful windows there allowing natural sunlight to come through. 0.15 acre lot. No backyard neighbors. Community grounds also features shade trees, ponds, paths. You have a heated pool, clubhouse, bocce ball, shuffleboard courts, tennis, and pickleball courts as well. 4809 Portland Manor Drive, Newport Richey, Florida. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Check out platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Andrew Kube back on the show, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, Brandon. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely, my pleasure. What's new in your world? I know I talk to a lot of people out there, and whenever I'm talking to business owners and maybe I'm ordering a taco or I'm finishing up a yoga class, I'm talking to them, and I'm really beating that drum on this rent replacement program, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great program. A lot of people haven't heard about the program. I've talked to other banks other SBA lenders out there all the time, and they don't understand how it can even be done. But I have 4 banks in the country that I work with that actually have a program called, it's an SBA 7A loan, but it's called the Rent Replacement Program or the Rent Swap Program. And it's designed for business owners who are currently leasing their location and they're tired of paying somebody else's mortgage. They want to get more tax write-off, and the goal is to hopefully sell businesses or leave them to family. And when you can have a real estate piece with that, that opens up the doors to help for retirement by owning a property opposed to leasing a property for your business. So the way the program works, you have to be in business for 2 years. You have to have about a mid-600 credit score or higher. If it's lower, we'll help you get it up. And you have to show a profit on your tax returns. And then what we do is we look at your yearly rents and we add them back into your profits. And there's a factor that we use to determine how much you actually qualify for. But it's a great program for business owners who are currently leasing their business location and they want to buy commercial real estate for their business. I'll give you an example of one we just closed last month, and the business owner had a tow business. It was a tow business, and they were paying about $8,000 a month for their location, and they were spending out almost $100,000 a year to somebody else's mortgage. So what they did was they bought a new property for $700,000. We were able to get them $40,000 in working capital. We put a new roof on the property. We put in a new driveway in the property, and we bought them 2 tow trucks for $150,000 apiece. And they paid for their appraisal and environmental, and that was it. It was actually a no money down loan, and they got all that in the loan. So,
wow!
If you're a business owner out there, whether you're starting a business, whether you're trying to grow your existing business, there's $5 million that the government through the SBA has set aside for your business. So if you have a plan for growth, please give me a call. I'd love to help you grow your business.
Yeah, plan for growth. Talk to Andrew Kube, US Commercial and Business Capital. You can do that by reaching out to the show hotline, 727-263-3707. Call or text the show hotline, 727-263-3707. Talk with Andrew Kube, US Commercial and Business Capital, about the $5 million that the government set aside to help small businesses grow. And Andrew, I was just looking at a post from a economist that I follow. He's actually the NAR economist. I follow him on LinkedIn, and it says the article is first quarter economic growth revised downward on weaker consumer spending. And subtitle, consumers appear to have had enough with high prices. Key takeaways, consumers slowed their spending in the first quarter. The economy is slowing, but still in an expansion phase as businesses invest in new technologies like artificial intelligence. And the effects of higher interest rates on the economy can be seen in the slowing housing sector. But this economist also mentions that because of bad GDP data and pending sales data, the 10-year Treasury yield is down, which also means mortgage rates should also be down a bit. So we're hoping that we see a drop in interest rates, and I think that would really stimulate this economy. What's your thoughts around that, Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, the rates are obviously prime rate is up, and it does affect when you're going to borrow money. I mean, the rates are up, and so you're going to pay more in interest. But it's an easy sell again for me to go to these business owners that are paying out, paying $100,000 up to $100,000 a year out to somebody else's mortgage to show them the money that they're losing by not owning real estate. So, really, in that situation, obviously we want lower rates, which means everybody puts money back in their pocket. Hopefully the prime rate will come down, interest rates will come down over the next 6 months, year, and which we're projecting that to happen. So, but yeah, there's still tons of opportunity out there for you, even though interest rates are up. I'm probably talking to about 30 new business owners every month from all over the country that are looking to buy real estate for their business. So there's still a lot of activity. There's a lot of inventory out there in that space, and I think that's the most important thing. I know that doesn't answer your question, but that's my take on it, man.
No, that's a good idea, because when you think about the inventory levels, inventory has been traditionally low. Now it's starting to creep back up. So there's even more options for business owners that maybe own, let's just say, for example, you're paying to be at a strip mall. There's a smoothie shop / wraps, next to a gym. And I was talking to that business owner, and I said, "Man, did you realize that my friend Andrew Kube with US Commercial and Business Capital has these programs where they're set aside $5 million for each small business owner?" And he didn't realize it. And I said, "Well, I'll send you his contact information. Give him a call and go over that." But now you have inventory that's starting to rise. So as a buyer, you're going to have much more leverage. You're going to have better bargaining power. You're going to be able to negotiate a better deal. Sellers are willing to offer concessions, and all that will offset the amount of a quarter point on an interest rate here or there, quarter or half a point. So the point is, stop paying the landlord's mortgage, pay your own mortgage, and build up equity and be a smart business owner. And also plan for that exit strategy, Andrew. I like how you mentioned that before as well. That's should be part of your overall business exit strategy as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're someone out there that's looking to start a business and you think that you want to lease for a couple years instead of own the real estate, talk to me about that before you do that, because it's much smarter to buy the real estate based off of what your projections for your new business would be, opposed to waiting a year and in your first year in business, if things don't go as planned and your numbers aren't good, but you're looking to expand at that time, then it makes it much harder to buy real estate when you're actually showing your tax returns and what your profit was in year one, opposed to coming to me right when you start a business and we're basing everything off projections.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you want to leave your company that you're already with and you have experience in the field and you want to start your own business, typically in that situation it would be 10% down of the total project cost. So let's say you find a property, just an example, for $1 million, and you need $100,000 in working capital and $200,000 in equipment to grow your business. Now we're at 1.3. You're putting down 10%, which is $130,000, but you're walking away with $300,000.
Wow!
So you end up walking away with more money than you start with under all these SBA loans, and that's how they should be set up, and that's how you can grow your business with this money that the government, the SBA, has set aside.
Yeah, that's such a smart money move to be able to do that. And we talked to Mark Hay with 21st Century Financial Group. He always talks about not being an employee, but being the employer. In other words, not being W-2'd, but being self-employed. So when you're able to do these things and you take advantage of the loan programs, which again, a lot of people don't understand these loan programs. So Andrew Kube here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're taking a quick break. We're going to come back and talk more business and finance with Andrew Kube on the show. Plus, we have a feel-good story of the day. Police officers surprised 911 caller with a chorus of happy birthday. Feel good story coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 to get more information.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're on the line with Andrew Kube, US Commercial and Business Capital. Coming up here, more from Andrew and the SBA loans, different programs that he offers through his great company. Before we do, a couple of hot listings here. We'd like to feature our real estate properties live on air. The strategy helps our sellers sell faster for more money, maximizing the exposure and the profit on the sale of our real estate listings. We've got a couple of properties here on New York Avenue in Hudson. We actually have 3 listings on New York Avenue. Kind of interesting and coincidental how that happens sometimes in real estate. But we got one at 7919 New York Avenue in Hudson. This one's in Pasco County. Great opportunity to own real estate right here. Great investment opportunity. This one's actually 8333 New York Avenue. Now, this one is 1.5 acres. Zoning is C3. You have 3 distinct structures. Now, you are generating $6,000 a month that is coming in from these 3 properties. $6,000 a month. You also have 1.5 acres of land, so you could park trucks and RVs and boats and have other parking there is available as well. So great opportunity to increase the revenues. You have warehouse amenities, office spaces, climate controlled 2-bay garage, and a body lift there to do some body work with your mechanic shop. Boat and RV parking services as well. 1.5 acres at 8333 New York Avenue in Hudson. 7919 New York Avenue in Hudson. This is another listing that we have from the Platinum MVP team. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1282 square feet. Versatile commercial property that can also be doubled as a comfortable residence. So it's kind of a mixed use opportunity here. Zone C1 per Pasco County Public Records. Dedicated business office, making it ideal for entrepreneurs who want to have the convenience of working from home. Great opportunity here in Tampa Bay. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Check out platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, going back to the phone lines here, we've got Andrew Kube joining us, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. Andrew, what are your thoughts, just in general speaking, around the economy, these loan programs? I mean, it seems like a no-brainer for business owners, especially if they haven't considered it or even aware of these types of loan programs.
Yeah, I mean, as a small business owner myself, I mean, obviously we want the money coming into our pockets to help reduce our prices and to help feed our families. So I believe that, if you go ahead and buy, they always say the home is one of the biggest investments that you'll make in a lifetime. If you're a business owner, it could be your commercial property, and it just sets you up for generations to come. You're actually paying your mortgage instead of someone else's mortgage. You're getting the tax benefits. And again, as I mentioned earlier, I had a client recently, 55 years old, that had paid out $1 million over the last 10 years to someone else's mortgage. And so, that's a $2 million swing the way I look at it. And now that he owns a property, he's basically able to, over the next 10 years of his career, to be able to pay the property off and, sell the property, sell his business, rent the property out. And if his kids decide they want the business, then he'll have a they'll have it for them. So it's just a great way to grow. The money is out there for you. I have access to a couple hundred lenders nationwide, whether you're an investor or a business owner. So I help you get the best pricing that's out there in the market for your particular project.
I love it, man. How do you want people to connect with you, Andrew?
The best way is to call my cell phone, 727-296-8650, 727-296-8650. You can also visit us at our website at uscbcapital.com.
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 uscbcapital.com. Andrew Kube. Lots of great loan programs out there. And thanks for joining us, Andrew. Appreciate that.
Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We're powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in your real estate deals. We got Derek Kobel in the house. Right Way Public Adjusting. We're going to talk about public adjusting, the insurance industry as well. And before we do, a couple of hot listings here. We always like to feature our real estate listings live on air. It's part of a strategy where we feature our listings on the show. 8533 110th Street, number 305. This one is a great opportunity. 55-plus community, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 638-square-foot condo. You have lots of attractions to this community. You have shuffleboards, gaming rooms, pool tables, line dancing, Zumba, silver sneakers, and more. Stay active in your 55-plus days at 8533 110th Street, Unit 305 in Seminole, Florida. Great opportunity to own real estate. Now, this one has no land lease, which results in a lower monthly fee as well. So it's a great opportunity there. You have a heated pool and spa. A great opportunity in Seminole, Florida, right there. Beautiful property. 2790 Pinellas Point Drive South, St. Petersburg. Another Pinellas County beauty right here. This one's 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2236 square feet. Culinary enthusiasts will delight in the fully renovated kitchen, open floor plan. You have very close proximity to the beaches, beautiful landscaping pavers featuring a serene gazebo, exciting jacuzzi. Practical features include solar panels to reduce electrical cost as well, close to the Skyway Bridge. 2790 Pinellas Point Drive South, St. Petersburg, Florida. You can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. All right, quick shout out as well to Divine Balance Alternative Healing. My massage therapist, Christina, does a great job. Hot towels, hot stones, Reiki. You have aromatherapy, infused oils, reflexology, yogi stretching as well. Some of the enhancements, 60, 90 minutes, even 120-minute massages available. Divine Balance Alternative Healing. She is right there in Palm Harbor. Great location. Nice location there, convenient off of Alt 19. And visit DivineBalanceAlternativeHealing.com. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives. All right, Derek Kobel, welcome back, sir.
It's great to be back, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming in. And Right Way, PA, you know, we talk about the idea of public adjusting just in general, just the fact that a lot of people don't really know what it is or understand how it can help them.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, someone in one of, that I've connected with recently put on their Instagram a poll and said, put a picture of me and said, what is a public adjuster? And the two options were, I have no idea and tell me. And she reached out to me and said, just so you know, everyone said they have no idea what a public adjuster is. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was cool to see. It gave me a good idea to start posting that as well. But yeah, man, again, I've said this before, but this is a space most people don't understand, You're an expert in real estate, right? So when it comes to property damage claim, going to court, if you get sued, anything, you don't have all of the expertise in law and you don't have all the information. You got to rely on experts. So we're just another tool in every homeowner's toolbox, man, to make sure that if something happens, I'm just here as a resource to help people out. And most people just don't realize that they have the option of hiring somebody who actually advocates for them.
Yeah, so you're a consumer advocate, in a sense of when there's a claim on the property. So you have an insurance claim, and we all know that these insurance companies, their motivations are to pay the least amount out as possible. Have you seen that? Is that evident in your field?
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. You file 5 or 10 claims, and out of those 5 to 10 claims, 80% of them are denials that are under deductible. I've have a few clients now where all of 3 of them are $1,000 deductibles, and I'm getting an $800 repair, $900, where now the consumer gets $0 because the insurance company is trying to say that the damage is so minimal, it only requires a small amount to repair, when that's really not the case.
Yeah. It's unbelievable the way that it's stacked against the consumer. I think that's another way to think of it, right? It's like everything's stacked against the consumer. They don't understand fully. And then if you get into the fine print of some of these different policies, there's issues there as well.
Yeah, and the insurance company, has their representatives. They have their adjusters they send out, but they also utilize their so-called experts in other parts of the claims process. So, for example, that's why it's so crucial to have a public adjuster, or at least somebody to talk to you. Because one of my clients, if the insurance company wants to hire one of their expert engineers, the engineers come out. For the most part, they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them. So if the insurance company is hiring the engineer,
right,
majority of the time that a report is in favor of the insurer, not the actual consumer. So one of my clients, actually, the insurance company bypassed me and went to the homeowner and went and did an engineer inspection without me. I wasn't even aware of it, to where that engineer claimed that there was no damage to the roof, where I've already submitted the paperwork, met with the field adjuster who told me what to take pictures of that did show damage, and the insurance company is standing by the decision of the engineer because they are the expert that came out to the property. So I argued, I offered to meet the engineer back out, and they're standing by their decision, pretty much saying, hey, sorry, there's nothing else we can do at this point. So now we have to rather go legal or spend thousands of dollars hiring our own engineer to combat theirs.
Yeah.
It's just insanity.
Yeah, it is. It's overwhelming costs. So not only are they dealing with an event, some type of whether weather event or whatever might have happened, natural disaster, but now they're dealing with that stress and the claim and the out of pocket that comes with that. But now they got to look at the legal side, or even hiring a better or another opinion in terms of an engineer.
Yeah, and it's some of these claims are slam dunks, man. And when I say that, it's obvious. There's obvious wind damage. There was I have another claim up in Spring Hill, where one of my clients actually has legitimate wind damage. I mean, there's 30, 40 damaged shingles, whether they're missed, creased, ripped shingles. The insurance company, I met the adjuster out there, showed him everything. There's interior leaks, all associated from wind damage and water intrusion. And the adjuster said that there was only 10 damaged shingles. And I said, no, there's not. Sent in a photo report of 30 plus missing damaged shingles, and I pointed them all out, wrote a nice long email, and I got an email back 2 weeks later, 2 sentences that said, sorry, we're standing by our decision. We're sending out an engineer. Wow. I actually met the engineer, great guy. We actually found probably around 25 to 30 damaged shingles, and the engineer said, hey, I'm just going to submit it as is. So hopefully that report comes back good, but I was at least able to be there to show the engineer the actual damage.
Yeah, it's interesting how that plays out, man. I've had situations where the buyer says, oh, the house has termites, they did their test, and then the seller gets frustrated, he's upset, he says, no way, my house doesn't have termite, it's almost taking it personally, right? Especially in residential real estate. And then he gets his inspector to say, no, there's no termites here. So it comes into these, you get these situations. Oh, and another point I wanted to make when you were talking earlier about so for example, whenever you sign, like a lot of times, there's been a lot of news in the cell phone industry lately. T-Mobile bought whichever company, and then but anytime you sign with these big companies, or even agreeing to terms of use, right? There's an arbitration clause in a lot of these different contracts that we're signing as consumers, and who reads them, right? That's the whole story, right? They're so long, don't have time to read them. But what happens is, you have a situation where the question becomes, who has an ongoing relationship with the arbitrator? Is it me, the small homeowner, business owner, cell phone buyer, Or would it possibly be the big multinational corporation that has millions and billions in assets? I wonder if they have an ongoing relationship with the arbitrator. Oh, yeah, let's check that box. They do, right? So it's similar to that example you were saying earlier, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The insurance company has all their own resources. They're multi-billion-dollar industry. You're going up against these massive, they have the buildings with, the multi-million-dollar renovated interior where you're just a small homeowner. That whole, like I mentioned a few shows ago, the David and Goliath,
Yeah.
We're just helping David, fight these giants. These insurance companies are giants, and homeowners really don't, for the most part, stand a fighting chance. So that's why we exist as public adjusters, to make sure that we are holding the insurance company accountable, to make sure that they are actually paying you what you're owed for your damages. Because it's very easy. If you're a company, you're a business, and you're collecting premiums, what's the last thing you want to do is have to pay all that money back for claims. So you have all these claims that come through, and these adjusters are doing what they can and what they have the ability to. Most of these adjusters don't have full authority. So these adjusters doing what they can, but as soon as the carrier says, hey, send out an engineer or get the attorneys involved, we got to fight on our end and get our own resources, which the homeowner has the option to do.
Yeah, I want to ask you a question on that too. We're talking with Derek Kobel. He is owner of Right Way Public Adjusting right here in Tampa Bay. He is a public adjuster, can help you with your insurances. But yeah, when you think about that, did the law change? Because I'm trying to remember, I thought the law might have changed to where now if you as a homeowner go out and get your own attorney, you're responsible for that, whereas it used to be different. Is that right?
Right. So, and an attorney can speak more on this, but from my knowledge of it, yeah. So the attorney was able to, if the insurance company denied your claim or only agreed to pay a certain amount, if we got an attorney involved and the attorney was able to pay or recover even a penny more than what the carrier offered, then the attorney can negotiate his fees and try to get them paid above and beyond the claim, is how it was explained to me. Now that's changed to where there are no one-way attorney's fees. Now both parties are responsible. So some attorneys should do like a pre-litigation. So, when you get an attorney involved, typically, and again, I'm not an attorney, but once you get an attorney involved, it doesn't go straight to court. Right. The attorney has to submit like a CRN, which is a civil remedy notice. It notifies the carrier that they, need to make a decision based off of new evidence that's going to be presented within 60 days. Then they'll submit something called an NOI, which is a notice of intent. So there's like a 90-day-ish pre-litigation stage where the attorneys will try to get it resolved. And that new fee is, I believe, a percentage. I don't know what it is. All attorneys are different. But they try to resolve the claim if they can. Great. They get a small piece of the claim. Where before they tried to negotiate that with the carrier, and that's no more. Yeah,
exactly. And I think that's what's led to a lot of the frustration on the consumer side. Call the hotline if you'd like to talk to Derek Kobel, Right Way Public Adjusting, 727-263-3707. You can call or text that hotline. It's an off-air number, 727-263-3707. Call or text the hotline. Also online at consumerqb.com. And it really makes my day. It's part of a pleasure of my day when I get the calls from our listening audience and folks that are listening to the show and longtime friends of the program. And they'll say, hey, we have a need for X, or we had a really good conversation, and it was a way that they were able to solve a problem, solve an issue, avoid commission-based advice. That's why we set this show up almost 11 years ago now. Coming into another break here. Coming up, our feel-good story of the day. We have police officers surprise 911 caller with a chorus of happy birthday. Feel-good story coming up, and more with Derek Kobel, Right Way Public Adjusting. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here. My husband Brandon and I own the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams, and our team of seasoned agents is ready to help you buy, sell, invest, and love the life you live here in Tampa Bay. Communication, execution, customer service, and bulletproofing transactions are really where our team shines. We service Hillsborough, Pinellas, Manatee, Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties, and we have seasoned agents in residential, luxury land, and commercial divisions. Reach out to us, your Christian realtors, and let us help empower you with the right knowledge to make smart decisions with your next transaction. Call us at 727-263-3707 today. Again, that number is 727-263-3707.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. You can reach me at 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, we're talking public adjusting with Derek Kobel here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Right Way PA is his company. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, and we have our feel-good story of the day coming up here in just a moment. Before we do, quick shout-out to our friends at Discovery Golf Cars, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show, discoverygolfcars.com. Check them out online. They've got the Easygo, the Star EV, the Cushman, many different makes and models, new and used. Check them out, discoverygolfcars.com, discoverygolfcars.com. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. All right, hot listings for this segment. We always like to feature our real estate properties, and we help our sellers sell faster for more money. One of the highest list price to sell price ratios in all of Tampa Bay. We got a property here on Gulf Boulevard. It's 18522 Gulf Boulevard. Beautiful property. It's right on the beach. You walk past your heated pool onto the sugar sand beaches, dolphin-filled waters. $1 million listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. You have your own community pool. You have one of the cool things here too is that you can short-term rent this property, so it is available for short-term rental, and it's also only $250 a month as the HOA. A lot of these other area condos are going up tremendously, talking 5x in some cases, going up on their monthly fees. 18522 Gulf Boulevard, Unit F, Indian Shores, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,000 square foot beachfront condo. 6101 Bayside Drive, Newport Richey. This is another $1 million listing from the Platinum MVP team. This one has your own private boat dock. You have access to the Gulf of Mexico. 5 bedrooms, 3-bath, 3852 square feet, quarter-acre lot with lush palm trees at 6101 Bayside Drive, Newport Richey, Florida. Lots of updates and upgrades, direct access to the Gulf of Mexico and sandy beaches, world-class fishing, diving, water sports, and some of the islands out there as well. Take your boat out and enjoy that Florida lifestyle. 6101 Bayside Drive. You can see all of our listings, PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com.
Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road.
All right, feel good story of the day. Police officers surprise a 911 caller with a chorus of happy birthday. It had all the hallmarks of an unremarkable night in East Boston for a couple of police officers before they got a call about a wellness check for a concerned by a concerned citizen that dialed 911. However, once they got all the details, they realized the caller wasn't so much concerned about his health, but about a special occasion that was soon to pass him by. The occasion was he was turning 25 years old, and there was no one there to celebrate with. So Officer Israel Bracco and his partner Frank originally thought the call was a joke. Once they verified it was legitimate, they perked up and they went to a bakery to furnish themselves with everything they needed for the task: muffins and candles. And the man with special needs, which went unrevealed by news reports, meekly answered the door while officers clearly asked him his name and how old he was. His name was Chris. He's going to be turning 25. As Bracco was lighting the candles, Chris asked his partner, Frank, how old they were. He says, "Oh, man, we're old. We're about 40 years old," he replied. With the candles lit, the pair belted out a birthday song. Chris, who had then been fidgety and nervous, looking at a loss with joy and gratitude after they finished hugging. Chris says, "This is more than I could ask for," Chris said, gesturing to the muffins when he was asked if he needed anything else. So there you have it, our feel-good story of the day. We're talking with Derek Kobel here in studio. Hurricane prep it's that time of the year. Hurricane prep. Got to start thinking about it.
Yeah, and it seems like, well, they say this every year, but they say this is historically going to be one of the busiest hurricane seasons we've ever seen.
Yeah, I saw the map. I saw the heat map. It shows like the heat of the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, even out into the Atlantic. And yeah, who knows, man? And so we should prepare as if it's going to be.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you're already trying to prepare when they already say it's coming, it's too late. If you're trying to take documentation of all your property and pack everything up and just make a list and make sure you have batteries, generators, like we were talking about off air, it's too late, man. You got to start preparing for that stuff now. I'm still, from Hurricane Ian 2 years ago, there are people still trying to fight some of their claims because they didn't properly document their home before the storm. And I know 99% of people don't have a list of all their personal property. If you have a flood, if a fire, one of my clients actually had a lightning hit her house after the hurricane and it caught her on fire. So we had to help her with that, and she lost everything in that. And, she didn't have documentation of all of her stuff. So and the insurance company isn't going to pay unless that you could prove that you actually own those items and that those items were there.
So that's walls in, that's personal property walls in.
Personal property walls in, yeah. If you flip up your house, if you pick up your house and turn it upside down, everything that falls out is considered personal property.
Got it.
So the building itself is covered under Coverage A, and that you want to take video, walk around your property, take a video of the outside, the inside, take a ton of photos of everything. If you can, to your roof, everything. Just so if something happens, you can compare what was there before and what was after, so there is no argument with the carrier.
Yeah, upload it to the cloud. Alex had a question.
Yeah, I do have a question. So other than having that prep list of people taking pictures and basically keeping the logistics of everything in their property, when like let's say I reach out to my insurance company and I feel like, man, I feel like they're gonna rip me off, or I feel like this number isn't right that they're telling me, and then we reach out to you reach out to a public adjuster. What do you like to see from your clients and to have all their ducks in a row? Obviously a list of that's tremendously helpful. Hey man, you got pictures, documentation stuff, awesome. But what else? Like, it's amazing if they hand you this, it's all packaged, ready to go. It's like, oh, we got this.
Yeah, and that's a great question, man, because actually I have never been asked that, so it's a great question. And unfortunately, I've never received what I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
So pretty much,
notes.
So once we're already involved, once we get involved after, there's already possibly been a recorded statement. The homeowner's already talked to the adjuster, so it's hard for us to backtrack and figure out what's already been said. What did they already present to the insurance company? Did they say that leak was older? We have no idea. Yeah. So once we get involved, we want a copy of your policy. We want any correspondence, letters that the insurance company has already shared with you. And if you have already provided documentation to the carrier, show us everything that you've already presented to them so we can get caught up to speed. But for the most part, just photos, what's been done already, and what the insurance company has already provided you. And we could take that and most likely decide where we can go from there.
That's a solid start. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I like it. We're talking with Derek Kobel, Hurricane Prep. And Right Way Public Adjusting is the name of the company. Here's an interesting story, kind of a roundtable we could talk about. So Elon Musk, XAI nabbed $6 billion in funding. He says that he's raised $6 billion latest round. There's an investor through Sequoia Capital. The fresh infusion brings the one-year-old company's valuation to $24 billion. And it boosted its position in growing the artificial intelligence arms race, because it is an arms race. Musk had admitted that recently that XAI still has a lot of catching up to do to complete with the other names, OpenAI and Google. Your thoughts around this whole artificial intelligence? We'll start with Derek.
It's terrifying, man. Even in the insurance realm, they're trying to start to go towards that route where they're going to have homeowners start to document their own stuff, and AI is going to pick up. But I think it's terrifying, man, what's going on, especially in the world today. I've seen promotional products get promoted by Joe Rogan and other people. Then at the end of the video, I hear, it's a deep fake. And I hear Joe Rogan, promote a product, and then he'll say, if you like this, hit share, like, and more, whatever they do. And I'm like, wait, that's not Joe Rogan. Yeah. So that's terrifying, man.
Yeah. I'm with you. I don't know if you guys, everybody grew up watching In Living Color. I was an In Living Color kid.
In Living Color.
Yeah. So Damon Wayans and Tommy Davidson, when they were doing it, they'd be like, hated it.
Right? Yeah.
AI, man. I
hate
it. I think it's no good. We have a hard enough time as it is deciphering the truth and knowing what is real from your sources. Now it's going to be near impossible to tell. You're going to have to come up with a program that can detect programs just to go through your everyday life. And I don't know, it sucks. I don't want anything to do with it.
That's true, man. AI, it's there's a lot there too. You get into the transhumanism debate, you get into that whole side of the things. But thanks for the throwback to the In Living Color. That's good.
Hey,
I like that.
Homie, don't play that.
Homie, don't play that. That's right. All right. Hey, another great show. Andrew Kube, Derek Kobel, Alexander Lima on the show. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback.